when I was at director of work. She is
Really?
Rich Balgallen.
Okay.
She is the best.
Good evening, everyone.
I mean, literally.
Good evening, everyone. This meeting is being held with the benefit of public notice as required by the Open Public Meetings Act. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Mr. Carabelli?
Here.
Ms. Phillips?
Here.
Mr. Ty?
Here.
Mr. Papero, Mr. Whaler, are both absent.
Would everyone rise for the flag salute and the invocation?
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we please remain standing for the invocation. Dear God, as we gather for our Township Council meeting tonight, we humbly ask for your guidance and wisdom in all our deliberations. Grant us open minds and hearts to listen attentively to the needs of our community and make decisions that are fair, just, and beneficial to all. May our discussions be respectful and productive, guided by a spirit of unity and collaboration. We pray for your blessing on all our council members and the decisions we make this evening. Amen.
Amen.
There has been an amendment to the agenda since it was posted on the website. We are going to be removing CA 19, consent agenda item 19, 25-152, a resolution for sewer emergency temporary budget allocations. CA 20, 25-153, also a resolution for the municipal emergency temporary budget. We will also be removing Resolution 2, 25-133, which is the renewal of a cannabis testing lab permit for Green Analytics East, LLC. And with that, let's move forward with the agenda, shall we?
I have a motion on the change.
Oh, can I?
I'll make the motion for those updates and changes on the agenda this evening.
I'll second the motion.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Carabelli?
Yes.
Ms. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Ty?
Yes.
Next for consideration, we have the minutes of January 21st, 2025, regular council meeting minutes.
Do I have a motion?
Council President, I'll make a motion to move on M1, the January minutes.
I'll second that.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Carabelli?
Yes.
Ms. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Ty?
Yes.
Next for consideration, we have communications, C1 through C6. First is a joint proclamation recognizing March as Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month in Hamilton, Go Blue. Next is a joint proclamation recognizing March as Women's History Month, Moving Forward Together, Women Educating and Inspiring Generations. Next is a joint proclamation for the Vietnam War Veterans Day, commemorating the anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War. Next is a joint proclamation for Irish Heritage Month, Ireland's contribution to global technology. Joint proclamation acknowledging the 2025 Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, Todd Faulkner. And the joint proclamation acknowledging the 2025 Miss St. Patrick, Riley Carr.
Do I have a motion to recognize communications C1 through C6?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Carabelli?
Yes.
Ms. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Ty?
Yes.
Next for your consideration is Resolution 125-132, is a resolution authorizing the adoption of pre-qualification regulations as required by NJSA 40A:11-25 for contractors to apply to the anticipated bid for the restoration requirements for the Saying Gardens Koi Pond located at 155 Hughes Drive. This is a public hearing.
Any comment from council?
Just a long-awaited project that I'm happy to see that we're starting to get some traction and movement on. Good to see.
Yeah, good to see the upkeep of Saying Gardens. It's one of the jewels of the Township Park system. If there's no further comment by council, we'll open it up to the public. Any members of the public wishing to comment on Resolution 1? Mr. Balgone?
Yeah, more question than comment, is that okay?
Yep.
So, there's all kinds of ways to do restoration of ponds and things like that. So do you know specifically what they're going to do? Is it going to be a restoration that's going to be, when the facility's finished, it's going to be low maintenance, going to last for many, many years? You may not know all those details. If you don't, I can reach out to engineering or somebody.
I don't know the specific details of the project. The only thing I really looked into was the dollar figure, and I know that half of this project is funded through grant dollars, so
That's good.
that was a step in the right direction. And I know when it was originally anticipated, this was only going to be funded through capital,
Yeah.
as a capital item, but we were able to seek some Green Acres funding for this project.
Yeah, I
so-
think you guys are doing a great job with soliciting grants.
Thank you.
I've read some stuff that I've heard from some people, but I've done this kind of stuff before in my professional life. And I know there's things that you can do to waterways to minimize things like having them silt in over the years, that types of thing. So that's the only reason I was asking the question.
Yeah, and we can shed a little bit of light on that. Our
Yeah,
business is
we
good
don't know
question. That's a good
exactly
question.
yet everything that's going to be done, and what this
This is just the
resolution...
beginning.
What this resolution is doing is really setting the pre-qualifications for
Right.
any contractor that would work on this or bid on this. And so it's limiting the pool of contractors because they have to be certified. They actually have to be specialized in, a specialized pond contractor, a certified aquascape contractor that we're going to bid for. And so, but I do know that it involves, sort of demoing the existing pond
yeah,
to a
yeah.
certain extent, and then constructing a special filter in there, so that it's probably doing some of the things that you're talking about, and then having some, I don't know, coves in there and waterfalls and things like
Okay.
that.
So my question was actually then premature, because this is more, you're just trying to get qualified contractors.
That's correct.
Great, thank you so
Yep.
much.
All right. Any other members of the public wishing to ask a question or make a comment? Seeing none?
Seeing none, I'll look to close the public comment portion and move on Resolution 25-132.
I'll second.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Carabelli?
Yes.
Mrs. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Ty?
Yes.
Next, for your consideration,
okay.
we have consent agenda items
We're
CA1
okay.
through CA18.
Sorry.
Oh,
We're okay.
okay.
Consent agenda items CA1 through CA18.
Yes.
Any comment from council?
I'll just make the comment that a couple items I just wanted to mention. One was, I was happy to see that obviously we've negotiated an agreement. Kathy, I know you probably put some work into that, and the administration, 25-136 for the, with CWA and our local 1040. And good to see that it's a, 3-year term. That's a 4-year term, actually. So, and then also just wanted to mention, I'm happy to see that we have the 2 funded projects for Homedale, recreational space and some of the Mercer at Play dollars. Although I'm a county, I just want to say this, I'm prefacing in this, although I'm a county official, this doesn't affect my particular department, so I feel comfortable voting on this evening.
Thank you, Councilor.
I would just also just want to add, just I'm happy to see more grant money coming in, and I see that we're going to be moving forward with grants for improvements on the tennis courts at Veterans Park, and just in general, just saving the township and the taxpayers' money.
Good. Any questions or comments from members of the public?
On CA1 through 18?
Yeah, we're going to go to...
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Good evening.
Yes.
Lisa Williams. I have a question on CA15. We're rescinding a professional services agreement for assistant municipal prosecutor. Why?
There is we have since learned, since we've appointed him, there's a conflict of interest. And so therefore, it just, he can't be an assistant prosecutor, so there's because of a conflict of interest that.
Okay.
that's
Does that affect any cases that he's
No,
tried?
because he hadn't yet appeared,
Okay.
so, and we still have we have a full-time prosecutor. So he hadn't yet appeared in our court. We have a full-time prosecutor. It's just, in case our prosecutor wants to, I don't know, take a vacation.
Take a vacation or have a conflict with
Yeah.
the case that's in front of them.
Right.
Is our full-time prosecutor an employee or a professional services?
Professional service.
Okay, I was just wondering, because it seemed like there was an item on the agenda maybe a few months ago that we then held off on a prosecutor. My thought was, should we just have a municipal prosecutor on the payroll so we don't have to keep going through this?
We did.
Okay.
We determined it was actually less expensive to the township to do it through a professional services agreement. And also, we were able to maintain more control over quality of services rendered.
Okay, thank you.
Probably
Rich?
not.
So I'm just going to make a comment. It's my own personal opinion. I'm not a petty cash fan, never have been, and never allowed petty cash in any of my previous positions. So I think there's vulnerability issues there, accountability issues. It is just $200, but just my personal opinion. So the other question is CA11. Can you explain why do we need that? And where's it going?
So this is,
Go ahead.
thanks.
Yep.
This is an agreement to buy a fire truck. We're going to buy a used truck instead of a new truck. It's going to save us about $1 million.
All right.
The vehicle has 10,000 miles, I believe, on it.
Oh, that's good.
So
Where's it going?
What
Where?
fire?
Yeah, where's it going to be?
Where's it going to be parked?
Where's it going to be located? Yeah, is it
Which-
going to a
which-
fire
which
department?
one of our
It's going to one of our
firehouses?
firehouses?
Well, yeah, it's a fire truck.
Yeah, I just don't know exactly which one.
I don't know.
That doesn't matter.
It's going to.
That's all I need to
Okay.
know. Thank you so
All
much.
right, okay.
Yep.
It's replacing a 1996 vehicle.
That's right, yeah. 30-year-old vehicle we're replacing. Okay, any other questions or comments from the public? Okay, seeing none?
Seeing none, I'll make a motion to close public comment and move on consent agenda items CA1 through CA18.
Yep.
I'll second that.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Carabelli?
Yes.
Ms. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Next is ordinance 125-003, ordinance amending and supplementing the Code of Ordinances, Hamilton Township, New Jersey, Chapter 215 fees, Section 215-12 marriage ceremonies. This is the second reading and public hearing.
And we are just raising the fee for non-residents who are getting married by the mayor.
From 150 to 250 under this rate.
Yeah. Any members of the public, questions or comments on this item? Seeing no members of the public wishing to comment?
I'll look to close the public comment portion and move on second reading, ordinance number 125-003.
I'll second.
Madam Clerk?
Carabelli?
Yes.
Ms. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Todd?
Yes. All right, now we are going to move to public comment. No one has signed up. Would any members of the public wish to come up and ask any questions or make any comments?
I guess I will. I'll be a pain.
Come on up, Rich.
So,
Can you just wait to speak until you're at the mic?
You're okay.
I can speak.
You're at the mic. You're
Hi,
good.
the name's Rich Balgowan. I live at 55 Church Street in Hamilton Township, also known as North Crosswicks. The house was built in 1790. It's amazing. So, anyway, you may or may not know, but I met with Mayor Martin a couple weeks ago. He generously gave me over an hour sitting down with him. And, I was a registered Democrat at one time, independent, and registered Republican. And as you well know, I was hired by Gilmore, and then Ben Savango kept me on, and the rest were let go. But that's just an FYI. But I am really, my position is I'm for the township people. I don't care what party I'm affiliated with. I really don't. So I sat down with the mayor, and I had about 4 pages of documents of all things that we could do to improve services in the township, and many of them also not just improved services, but saved us money at the same time. And it takes a little effort to do it, but we did that. And then I talked about other things that are out in the township involving public safety, that we have a significant liability if someone gets in a crash, an accident, and especially things with like guardrails and things like that that have not been compliant for decades and decades, spans multiple administrations, not just this administration. So nothing happened after that meeting. I expected some people to get some word, like engineering or whatever, about some of the things that we could do. I didn't hear anything. And I'm not going to get into all that stuff now. We really need to look at taxes. As you know, taxes are always a hot topic. There's things we need to look at to cut taxes. And there are a number of items in our budget that are big ticket items that we can make significant changes to. Solid waste, for example. I'm not going to get into any of the details about that, but solid waste, recycling, which is the county, which is one of the most, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most pathetic programs I've ever seen in my life. They need to gut the MCIA. They're doing a horrible job. And then there's other things too that I could get into, resurfacing and contracts and stuff like that. I'm not going to do that, but we really need to look at what can we do to cut our operating costs, and when you can improve services at the same time, to me it's a no-brainer. So that's pretty much just a comment. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other members of the public wish to ask a question or make a comment? Seeing no members of the public wishing to comment?
It's okay.
You want to
Come
come
up.
up? Lisa?
Lisa Williams. I'll be quick, just to sort of piggyback on this gentleman's comment. I mean, I've raised this issue for 4 or 5 years now, the whole dog license scenario, and the amount of money we lose. When we bought that ACO truck or contracted for it, I think you needed $75,000 from general fund. The rest came from the dog fund. If you enforced the dog license law, you would have had plenty of money, because that thing is short every single year by at least $100,000. I did that calculation a few times a couple of years ago, and then again, I've just kind of stopped because I feel like I talked to the wall. But if we enforced the dog license law, if we collected the fees, if we enforced fees when people go to court for things that they actually proved instead of just dismissing them, we'd have more revenue that could fund things and not additional taxpayer dollars. You know, that animal control truck has been paid for by everybody in the township because a lot of people didn't license their dogs, so there wasn't enough money to cover it. So I agree with him. There are ways we can find money. I just thought I'd put my dog license feel out there before I have to make a call, because there's been another issue, and look at that, the dog that's running after me and my dog is not licensed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other members of the public wishing to ask a question or make a comment? Seeing none, we'll move to council comment.
Go first. You can ladies first. Go ahead. It's only the 3 of us tonight.
So weird. I just want to thank everyone for coming tonight. It's nice to get some spring-ish weather, finally, just in time for the St. Patrick's Parade. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day on Saturday, so I hope to see everybody out there. I can't remember, the start time is 11?
I think it's 11. Yeah, I think it's
1.
Oh, 1. Okay.
1.
The kickoff.
The kickoff is at 1.
11, yeah. And I'm also excited for Women's History Month. I hope everyone's doing something to recognize that. And, of course, all of our proclamations are important, but, of course, I'm kind of partial to that. So thank you again for coming out, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank you.
I'll just echo what Councilwoman Phillips had mentioned regarding the St. Patrick's Day event. I know it's a big event in our town, and it brings out a lot of people. It's a good community event. Glad to see our 2025 Grand Marshal with the joint proclamation, and Miss St. Patrick, Riley Carr. Met her, know the family fairly well. And also got to know, was introduced to Todd as well. So looking forward to them leading things off, and the parade committee does a phenomenal job. So looking forward to that event, and in a couple more weeks, I guess, you're going to be scheduling, Council President, some of our budget workshops, my favorite time of year. So, and we'll go through the budget at that particular time, but thank you for coming out this evening, and I look forward to seeing everyone on the 8th.
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations to the Grand Marshal and to Ms. St. Patrick. I would like to thank all the members of the public who joined us this evening. As always, we value your questions and comments. And this has been a brief council meeting tonight, but we thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. This meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.